Okay, we got our got a little cooling rack. This is how I like to do it. This is a steak. This is a New York strip prime. So these were what $20 a pound, and then there's a pound and a half. These are nice looking steaks. They're a good size. They're decent size, but they're not giant. I think the last ones we got were giant, but they were really good though. So I'm doing this late. I just completely forgot that we're going to be doing this. Am I in frame? Yeah, I think so. So we have our steaks. Step one. Now, normally I like to do this 48 hours, but like I said, I forgot. They're a little bit moist. I don't know how well you probably can't see it on camera, but they're a little bit moist. That's what we want to eliminate. So I use this Hamburger Deluxe. It's from Fiesta brand out of San Antonio, down the road from us here in Houston. So this, when I grill it, I really lay it on because half of it falls off. But if that's okay, I put a decent amount and I press it in and make sure that we're trying to keep as much of it on the meat as possible. It does no good when it's on the plate, obviously. I like to have the cooling rack so that way air can circulate all the way around. And we're going to do the other side. So it is 12:30 in the afternoon on a Thursday. If you're watching this for posterity, Martin Luther King Day was on Monday, so I went to the grocery store with my wife and we got these, and I was like, ooh, I want to make that red wine reduction again. It seems, I want to see if I can get lightning to strike twice, right? So that's it. They're set. They're on this cooling rack so that airflow can go all the way around. Because if you do leave it on the plate, it'll be okay. If you don't have a cooling rack, one thing I did do one time was just lean up against each other like Forrest Gump. You lean up against me in the mud, you know. Anyway, I just put them on the rack. Make a little space in my fridge. They're going to sit like this for about 30 hours or so. Ideally 48 I found was the sweet spot, but anything over 24 is pretty good. So nice liberal coating of it. It's going to be set. I'm going to put this in the fridge and we'll be back tomorrow evening. All right, it's been like 30 hours. So they're pretty dry. They have shrunk a little bit. So that's good. We're going to be, oven's preheating, it's going to be a few minutes. But in the interim, here we're using a Malbec tonight. I've had this before. Tastes pretty nice. So I'm going to crack it open. I'll need it in about an hour, probably a little bit less. Could twist the bottle or twist the cork, however you see fit. Smells really nice. Smells good. I'm gonna let it sit for a moment. I'm gonna get my measuring cup. I did a cup and a half last time. There's plenty, and then even after I had like a glass and a half, and it was still a little bit left over from the last one. So I'm gonna go ahead and take 2 cups, because why not? Neither of us want to have like too much wine, because there's no reason to. So okay, so like I poured all of this, and there's still this much. So there's at least another 2.5 cups in this. So plenty, and you can't have too much of this sauce. So if I do it right, you can't have too much of this sauce. So I'm gonna let this sit over to the side. I have garlic. I'm gonna use like 2 or 3 cloves of fresh garlic, a shallot, and I have my sous chef lady here. She's staring at me because she sees these steaks and she knows what steaks mean. So let the oven finish preheating. Get my thermometer ready. Stick the thermometer in this guy. And then we're going to reverse sear. So I'm going to put the oven at 400 degrees. I'm going to put them in the pan, cook the steak all the way up to around 100 degrees internal temperature, take them out, finish them on the stove top, and get that fond working, and we'll go from there. Got a shallot here. Let me get this paper off of it. Okay, I'm having trouble with my thermometer, of course, when I needed it the most, so I already have it out. I don't know what the exact temperature inside of it is, and that's really how I do this. So I see that it's still bloody, so I have it on medium heat on the stove top now, on the gas burner. I'm gonna let it sit for another couple of minutes, flip them, trying to build that fond. But yeah, I think it's coming along okay. Okay, they're almost done, I think. They look done, they smell done. The fond is coming out pretty good. Gonna give them another minute or 2 to get color on the other side. Take them off, let them rest, and then we'll get to our sauce. Okay, I think we're good. So I'm going to take these, put them to the side. I put them in the microwave just to keep them out of the way. Let them rest. Normally I'd let them rest for 10 minutes anyway. So now I'm going to take my wine. Make a big mess. Taking beef stock. So when I use this beef stock, I really don't have to season anything. I don't have to add salt or pepper. This does it. So it's about 4.5 ounces or so of beef broth. garlic. Bring this up to a boil. With about a tablespoon of butter. And we're going to start scraping this fond off. I have still it on medium heat. I needed a point to move hands, and then I needed another hand. Left hand holding the pan, right hand scraping the fond. Just carefully move it around and scrape. Okay, it's come up to a boil. It's been boiling for a few minutes now. So I'm going to take it down to medium-low. And I'm going to let it sit like this, where it's just simmering like this for 15 to 20 minutes. What I want this thing is to break down by at least half. Okay, it's cooked down. When I move the spoon through, it just separates completely, which is good. The heat is off. I put butter in, so now I'm just gonna let the butter scoot around. I hope I didn't overcook it. I did run it hot for a little while, but it seems like there's enough liquid in there for it. So I'm just letting the butter melt down.
Do you have enough butter?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, I have a little bit left if you want some.
No, I think I took everything I needed. So I'm just letting this butter work around. I'm gonna put this through letting that residual heat break this butter down and making this sauce a little bit smoother. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this through the sieve here, not the grate.
Hey, we should try the onions.
Shallot.
What are they?
Shallot.
Yeah, they're shallots.
Yeah, it's shallot and garlic.
Oh, it's delicious.
I may have cooked it down a little too much, but that's not a problem. There's plenty. We had too much the last time, so all it does is if it cooks down, as long as it's not burnt, which it's not, it'll just be a sharper taste. It'll be more flavor. It's not that big a deal. So I'm just squeezing out all the fluid I can out of it. So it's a decent amount. It's not,
It's fine.
it's more than enough for the two of us, my wife and I, so we'll be in good shape. She thought, oh, we could eat, I want to taste some of the shallot. And that's a good point, because this is just, it's been soaking in deliciousness for the last, 20 minutes. So this took about 25 minutes of cooking it down. And it obviously has a delicious aroma to it. So I'm going to put this to the side. Let me find a place to put this. I'm going to put this on this plate here. I'm going to grab a small piece of, make sure I'm in frame, grab a small piece of meat, cover it. Cheers. Okay, that's good.
It's good.
Yeah, you're on camera. You're in the shot. Nobody watches this far. Maybe Mom does. Hi, Mom.
Hello.
I think it's right.
I'll get in the shot for steak. It's delicious.
Okay, it's right. Okay. I cooked it down a little bit more than I should have, but I had it on a higher heat because I used more. I used more and then I came out with less. But the flavor is right. The steaks are cooked right. So now this is my dinner I'm going to eat.